We'll move on to our final film today, a film that Joe, you wanted to see but didn't have time, unfortunately.
I did not have time. I tried, but damn.
And a lot of time it takes as well, because it's only 3 hours long.
Yeah. I mean, what was it, 2 hours 40?
2:40.
2:40, yeah.
We're, of course, talking about Toni Erdmann. It was an Academy Award-nominated film in the Best Foreign Language category. And, you know, before I get into it, I would say deservedly so. It's unfortunate because a lot of the films that are nominated probably won't come out here, so I can't, like, sort of say it will beat this and this and this, because there's so many that we'll actually get to see here, but all I can say is aye. So the story is a woman called Ines. She is she's like a consultant for an oil company, and basically her job is to take the blame for people getting fired. Like, that's kind of what her job is. It's a very capitalist, you know, and that's a point the film makes. So she is kind of always buried in work. She's not taken seriously. She tries very hard, but she's always kind of falls short. And she comes home for a birthday. Apologies, I'm not well. And her father's there. And I forgot her father's called Wilfred, I think.
I think so, yeah.
And he is this larger-than-life guy who always has like a pair of false teeth in his pocket, and he'll from time to time just put the false teeth in just because he thinks it's funny, because he's that kind of embarrassing dad type character. And he, noticing that his daughter Ines is not, you know, happy and not being appreciated, decides to go to where she's working in Budapest, I think it is, and immediately she's taken more seriously because she's got a man by her side. So she's at these meetings and stuff, and people actually listen to what she has to say. They all think that he's crazy and stuff, but they all kind of listen to her more because she's got somebody more powerful next to her. That's what the film perceives. I don't think that, by the way. I've got to be careful there. So when he realises that there's something more he could do, he decides to make this character called Toni Erdmann, and he will just get involved in her life because she clearly doesn't want to be in his life. He will kind of force himself upon her just because he misses her, and he knows that, you know, she could be happy and should be happy, but she's not. So he has this black wig, these false teeth, and he can be a different character each day, like a different job, he makes them all up. At one time he's the ambassador for Germany, at one time he's totally something else, and she kind of latches onto it a bit more, and the two of them kind of build up more of a bond through this character Toni Erdmann. It's very peculiar, and as we said, it
sounds very, very German.
It's very German. It's a comedy, and I use comedy in like inverted commas. It's a comedy that lasts over 2.5 hours, and it's been kind of, people have been speaking about it a lot because of A, how funny it is, B, how sad it is, C, how cringy it is, how tragic it is. Everyone has taken something different out of this film, all of those things, but some people have taken more of those elements than others. It's been known for some very big comedic set pieces as well that you kind of, you know about.
You've
heard about.
Yeah, I've seen one scene which I don't know how I feel about it. It's the greatest love of all scene, which is very. It made me want to watch it, which I'm very sad.
The tonal shifts the film does, that is a very comedic scene, but with a dark undercurrent, and then as soon as that scene finishes, it goes back to being quite dark again and being quite sad. So it has to balance those two things very well. Those comedic set pieces are very big parts of laughter, but there's really lots and lots of small humour scattered throughout. It's that kind of awkward where even the silence can be considered a joke in its own right. There's just the amount of awkward gaps that the film leaves. And I saw somebody on Letterboxd, which is a review site, say that this guy is the German Adam Sandler. But when you think about it, the plot that I described, that could very easily be an Adam Sandler film. And it very well could be yet, because there's an American remake on the way.
Nicholson.
It's Jack Nicholson and Kristen Wiig, which will be interesting. I think Adam McKay is on to exec produce, so it could be like out-and-out comedy.
Yeah, I'm sure the director's got something involved with that as well.
Yeah, she's a producer on it as well. Yeah. So... And I think that Winfred, the Toni Erdmann, he's kind of a bit like P.S. Hawthorne from Community. He's that kind of, he'll do anything for a joke, he'll do anything just to be loved. And I think that's kind of, but he takes it to an even greater extent by literally becoming this different person with goofy teeth. I left it and I didn't know how to sort of sum up my thoughts. All I can say is that I cried with laughter multiple times. There's a scene involving some petit fours.
No.
Like small cakes.
Right, yeah.
Which, if you see the film, I can't even say what it is because it's revolting. There's also a scene involving a lot of nudity, which is...
I think I've heard about this. Yeah.
This party with a lot of nudity, which is hilarious. The 3 hours just fly by, and it's just an absolute joy because, as I've said, it could be an Adam Sandler film, but it's done with such delicacy. It's done with such deft direction and deft precision. There's no... And I always get these mixed up. There's no diegetic music or non-diegetic. There's no music being added over the top of it.
Right. So there's no non-diegetic.
I always get them mixed up. Yeah. Always. It's all like that sort of naturalistic, but it's not a documentary kind of style either. It's not like lots of handheld stuff. It just feels like a very lived-in world. And I didn't realise this until I've read about it, and this always happens because people are saying, it's this great satire about such and such. Blah, 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 blah. And all I kind of saw when I watched the film, as I was going through my head, it didn't really like sort of flash up and go, this is a satire of. But all I got from watching it is this great story of these two people who, are family, and you can't choose your family, they always say that. But they clearly love each other, and they just sort of see different ways. And she's clearly, and this is where the satire comes in, she's clearly a part of the corporation and capitalism.
Yeah.
That's where the satire is. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really notice that as the film's going, because I was just so sucked in by how funny it was and how sad I felt for the poor Winfred, who's just... He just wants his daughter in his life. It's just a simple thing, isn't it? It's nothing much to ask.
Like creating another persona.
It's amazing what lengths he goes to do this as well. The amount of things that he goes to. The fact that he pretends to be an ambassador. That's how it ends up with The Greatest Love of All. It's when you reflect on it, the satire is actually very clever. But that's not the thing I took from it most. I kind of took more from the fact that it's just very, very funny, and not even as sort of like... It's just genuinely really funny, and it just the time flew by, and I would watch it again. I probably could have watched it straight after and watched it again.
But 2 hours and 40 minutes for a comedy as well. That's very...
Sandra Huller is brilliant. The director Maren Ade is great as well, and I forgot what the guy who plays Toni Erdmann's called, Pütter something, but he's great as well. So Toni Erdmann is the film of the week for me. It's just it's hilarious, and I would definitely watch it again.
I am very sad that I missed it.
Well, it's still on the Tyneside this week, so if you get a chance,
I will try. But extremely busy, sadly.
As we all are. It's just horrible, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes. I just want to watch movies.